It's so weird that it's pay one. I remember the good old days when, what's his name?
Chasm Skulker.
Yeah, you didn't have to pay one.
Well, he also didn't make a tentacle.
You made a squid.
When it died.
Oh, this makes it a tentacle when...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
This is much better. I don't know if it'll see play, but it's sweet.
All right, next up is blue. And we're going to first release the Kraken.
The Nadir Kraken.
The Nadir Kraken, yes.
Yep.
So this is 1 blue for a 2/3.
Yep. It's not super exciting so far.
Get
That's
hype.
Minotaur stats.
So whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, you put a +1/+1 counter on the Kraken.
And
you make a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All of the tentacles.
All of the tentacles. I think, I haven't asked, but I'm going to assume you agree with me that we're going to take the same stance that the Arena Decklist podcast took.
100%.
Which is no custom tentacle tokens.
Please use the ones that come in your pack. I don't want to know what you think a tentacle looks like.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. I don't want any anime girls and tentacles. I want no, just the stock wizard tentacle, please, only.
Yeah, I know some of the people in this store. Please just use the provided tentacle tokens.
Please, we need this for all of our sanities.
Yeah.
I'll pay 1 and I concede. It burns.
Make it go away.
It burns. So we don't know if this card's gonna see standard play. It is sweet.
Yeah. It seems like a pretty good mana sink. Like if you have something that you're just looking to dump mana into.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it. It grows this thing. It gets you a little bit of value.
I think that it's going to be a house in limited.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you play this on 3, and if they don't kill it, you just,
take over the game.
Get a 1/1 and get a 1/1.
Yeah.
And if you have any way to, draw extra cards, I don't know, you, play this on 3 and then Thrill of Possibility on 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you just make it giant and, yeah.
And technically,
tentacles everywhere. So, it's interesting. I'm sure it might find a home. But when I first read it, I didn't realize you got the counter and the tentacle. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's both. Okay.
It's both. Yeah. Not super exciting, but
interesting.
I'd be surprised if it didn't find a home somewhere. If there's a blue devotion deck, like there was last time we were in Theros, this probably sees play there. It's 2 pips for devotion, plus gives you value as the game goes on.
Gives you a reasonable thing to do.
Yep.
So I have to apologize to this next card.
Lots of text.
I saw it and I was like, this doesn't seem all that good. Like it's just a random collection of words.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it and now I want all the extended art copies I can get. So this is Thassa's Oracle.
Yep.
It's blue for a 1/3.
That's exciting.
Get hype. Brace yourselves. When Thassa's Oracle enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Okay. So if you just play it on turn 2, you look at the top 2 cards.
Right.
Put one of those cards on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game.
You just win the game.
Okay.
Okay.
It's done.
Let's make it happen. How are we going to make it happen?
We've already have to figure it out. So they showed up in the middle there.
Okay.
So there's a deck currently running around Pioneer. It's a Possibility Storm deck.
Okay.
So Possibility Storm is the classic bad red enchantment at rare. It's 3 red and says whenever you cast a spell, you exile it and then reveal cards on the top of your library until you hit a card of the same type.
Okay.
You cast that card instead of the card you were casting, and then you take the card you were casting and all the cards you revealed, shuffle them up, and put them on the bottom of your library.
Okay.
So you play a bunch of adventure creatures. They're all creatures. You stick your Possibility Storm.
Okay.
And ideally you have 6 mana, and you play a sorcery. So the decks I saw that were doing this were playing green, so they could play
Rosethorn
Acolyte, or play, what is his name? Lovestruck Beast. I think you can clean up the mana base and just play blue and play Merfolk Secret Keeper.
Mm-hmm.
You Secret Keeper, whatever, Dig Deeper or whatever it is. And you then have 1 sorcery in your deck. It's Enter the Infinite.
Okay.
You draw your deck, and you put back Thassa's Oracle as your bottom card. So you enter the infinite is you draw your entire deck, you put 1 card on your back as your deck.
Oh, all right.
Then you cast a Walking Ballista for 0. That flips you into Thassa's Oracle. X will be greater than 0.
Yeah.
Well, even if they kill your Thassa's Oracle, X is 0, you have 0 cards in your library. If it's greater than or equal to, right?
Yep.
Win the game.
Win the game.
Turn 6. Easy game.
Sure.
So
this is what you were talking about with idyllic tutor? You can tutor up.
No, I got something else. For that.
Okay.
I got something else.
Sure you do.
I got something else. So I like the teamer version plays like a bunch of bad cards.
Hey, so I'm going to stop you real quick. Peyton, this one's for you. I hope you're watching.
What? Possibility Storm?
Yeah, he was playing Possibility Storm and Pioneer.
The teamer version, the current version, has a lot of bad cards and moving parts for the win.
Okay.
I forget what they put on the bottom. It's something bad. There's also a version that plays Borborygmos, and then you throw your lands at them.
Makes sense.
This, you could just play Jeskai. If you wanted Idyllic Tutor, you could have Idyllic Tutor. But you have Teferi, you have Bone Crusher Giant, you have Brazen Borrower. So you have an A plan of non-anemic good beats.
Right.
And then you can just backdoor them with Possibility Storm.
Yep.
And a 1/3 that kind of scries 2.
Yeah.
Isn't the worst.
No, it's almost like Augur of Bolas, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's an Augur of Bolas that
never misses.
At least put something on top that you want, as opposed to putting all 3 cards on the bottom of your library.
Right.
And so, you can play more than one of these and, can be a reasonable blocker against a red deck. You just need to have one in your deck.
Right.
Or one somewhere in your deck in hand when you hit Enter the Infinite. So, that was the first thing. It's basically a Laboratory Maniac.
Okay.
And it's just how can you... You can also... I have plans for Lotus Field. This is a win condition for Lotus Field.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were going.
Yeah.
That Possibility Storm caught me from left field.
Yeah.
I don't know what was happening there for a minute.
I have 4 Possibility Storms now. This.
Okay.
I sent this deck to you in the chat. It's to the team chat, and I was like, you could sit beside this for 9 rounds. What's he doing? I don't know.
I didn't know you were serious.
I don't know. Oh yeah. I built the numbers. I built the mana base. I tried.
Okay.
I tried. I was like, I got 4.
We're in for a treat in February.
I got 14 blue sources. We're good here. I counted sources. So yeah, this card is fair, but also it just has the not fair is harder to see, and I missed it when I first looked at it. But the not fair is. They're Laboratory Maniac just says do something not fair.
Yeah.
A 3 mana, do something not fair, 2/2. This is a 2 mana, look real hard, do something not fair, 1/3.
Yeah.
That just does something when it comes into play, as opposed to Lab Man, which doesn't do anything. Which if you play Lab Man,
so weird.
Yeah. If you play Lab Man and you don't win that turn, you've done something wrong with your Lab Man.
Very wrong, yeah. So the next card, moving on from unfair stuff to very fair stuff.
Very fair.
Is Thirst for Meaning. It's 2 and a blue for an instant. Says draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards, unless you discard an enchantment card.
Yeah, so it's either draw 3, discard an enchantment, so you're up 2 cards.
Right.
Or it's draw 3, discard 2.
Now, I know this card's good, and you know this card's good. But for a lot of people, first looking at this card, I can see how they would not think that this card is good.
Yes.
This card will absolutely see play if there's any sort of white-blue control deck.
Yes.
Blue-white control deck. Because that deck is already leaning on things it's going to lean on Banishing Light and on Prison Realm as removal anyway.
Well, and it's going to lead on counters. So it's going to lean on Absorb and 3 mana counters. So if their turn 3 is hold up Thirst for Meaning or counter your spell, they're not going to have they're not going to waste that mana.
Well, yeah, I was going to get to that.
Okay.
What I meant was that if they need to, they have things to pitch to it to get
have
card advantage.
Yes.
Yeah. What you said is the second part of it, is this fits nicely into what their game plan is, of leaving 3 mana open to counter your spell. If you don't do anything, they're not going to waste their mana. They're going to either fix their hand or they're going to go up a card. Or
yeah. And I mean, a situation where you have a lot more keepable hands. If you have 3 lands and a Thirst for Meaning, you can probably just keep that hand.
Oh yeah.
If you have 2 lands and a Thirst for Meaning, you can probably just keep that hand. If you have 5 lands and a Thirst for Meaning, you probably can just cast it, pitch 2 lands, and be happy. Get some action.
Instant speed is the big thing here.
Instant speed. Also, Drakoseth is still in the format, so if you want to be unfair.
That's true. It is a way to discard cards.
Yeah, there's a way to put Drakoseth into the graveyard to Bond a Revival him.
Yeah. Also, if your escape deck happens to be blue, this is a good way to fuel escape too. It's 3 mana, 3 cards in your yard.
Yeah, and that basically pays for a lot of the
escape
good
costs.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all in all, it's going to see a lot of play. This is a take on Thirst for Knowledge,
right?
Which was the same text except for discard an enchantment and
artifact.
Discard an artifact, and that card saw a ton of play.
Yep.
That card is a Vintage Cube staple.
Yep.